Welcome everyone, this is your own channel Learner Saga. In this video we will discuss the third chapter from your book The Beehive. The chapter name is The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. But before starting, I like to request you to press the like button and subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to comment and share the video. So without wasting any time, let's begin. The Little Girl. Actually, the story, as the title says, the little girl is of a little girl. And the story emphasizes, the theme of the story emphasizes the relationship between children and their parents. In the before you read section, we may find, do you feel you know your parents better now than when you were much younger? Perhaps you now understand the reasons for some of their actions that used to upset you earlier. Yes, it's very true that as we are grown up now, as we are in standard 9, so we can now realize that in our childhood days, our parents were very strict to us. They used to forbid us from doing many things, so that we may not do some mistake, so that we should not do some kind of nuisance and everything. And then it appeared to us that our parents are very strict. But as we generally grow up, we have the notion that our parents actually do all those things for our betterment. This story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every room. Again, it is very true that the feelings of the girls or the boys, you may say, when they are in their childhood, they used to treat their parents as something very strict persons. But as they gradually grow up, they actually realize the things that their parents do these kinds of things for their betterment. To the little girl, he was a figure to be feared. So now the story. To the little girl, he was a figure. He means the father. He was a figure to be feared and avoided. A figure to be feared and avoided means a person to be feared. A figure here means a person. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with "Goodbye, father." So this was the casual thing. The kiss was casual. It was a sign of affection for the little girl made by the father, and the little girl responded with "Goodbye, father." So the father used to go to work, and there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter down the long road. And when that little girl she heard the noise of the carriage growing fainter and fainter, that means the sound was reducing. It was becoming very slow down the long road. There was a glad sense of relief. So she was very glad at that time, and she had a sense of relaxation. She was very in a relaxing mood, as her father has gone to do some work. In the evening, when he came home, she stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. "Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, Go and see if my paper's out there and bring me my slippers. So in the evening, the father came back to home from his duty, from his job, and as soon as he came, he wanted his tea into the drawing room. He also searched for the paper and his slippers. He shouted to his mother, that means the little girl's grandmother, to go and see if his papers were there and also his slippers. Kezia, mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. So the little girl's name is Kezia. Mother would call to her by her name Kezia, saying that Kezia, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. So be a good girl and take off your father's boots. Slowly the girl would slip down. The meaning is given here. Slip down means come down quietly and unwillingly. So you can see the girl is quite unwilling. She has no will. She is not willing. Reluctantly, she is coming down the stairs. More slowly, still across the hall. You can see with her gesture and posture, the way she walks, the stature, that she is very reluctant to come to her father and push open the drawing room door. By that time, he had his spectacles on. So when she met the father was wearing his spectacles and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. And when the father looked at the girl through the spectacles, the girl found it quite terrifying. Well, Kezia, hurry up and pull up these boots and take them outside. So the father, on seeing Kezia, he shouted at her, giving sharp instructions to pull off his boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? And then he asked her whether she had been a good girl or not. I don't know, father. So the girl stammered. You don't know? If you shuttle like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. So the father is very strict. You can see, as the girl said in a stammering way, the father said, if you stutter means stammer. If you stammer like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. She never started with other people, had quite given it up. So already she had given it up. Give up means to abandon, to relinquish. The girl not always stuttered or stammer, but only with father. But she stammer only with conversation, when she is having a conversation with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. That was the thing. She was very afraid. Whenever she tried to speak with her father, she became nervous. That's why she stammered. What's the matter? What are you looking so wretched about? The father asked her, what's the matter? What happened to you? What are you looking so wretched about? Wretched means unhappy. Why are you looking so unhappy? Mother, I wish you taught this child not to appear on the brink of suicide. This is a phrase, brink of suicide. On the brink of suicide is a phrase. It means on the verge of suicide. Brink means on the end or the verge of suicide. That means it appeared to the father, as the girl was very unhappy, Probably she doesn't want to continue her life. Okay, so this is quite it is said in a satirical way. As the girl was very much nervous, the father snubbed her in a roundabout way, saying that you are so unhappy that it appeared to me that you are going to kill yourself. Here, Kezia, carry my teacup back to the table carefully. And then again he gave another instruction, another order to take the take the teacup back to the table carefully without breaking. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth when he yawned. So now you can see, students, the girl's thinking about her father. He was so big. The father was so big, according to the girl. His hands and his neck, especially his mouth when she yawned. Yawn means to open the mouth. To open the mouth and take a deep breath. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. So the comparison here. According to the girl, his father is like a giant. Why? He has so big stature. His hands, his necks, his mouth, and especially when he yawned, his big mouth. The girl then thought about his father like a giant. On Sunday afternoons, grandmother sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. So the grandmother, as usually are, she was very kind to the girl, and she told the girl to go and have a chat with her parents in the drawing room. But the little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the sofa. So this was the scene. The girl found the mother reading something, some magazine or newspaper maybe, and the father was lying on the sofa. His handkerchief on his face. You can see the father had his handkerchief on his face, his feet on the best cushions, and the father loved to put the feet on the cushion, sleeping soundly and snoring. And the father was sleeping soundly. Soundly means here not creating any sound. Here the word soundly doesn't mean creating any sound. Soundly means profoundly. And snoring, yes, this is the word that means creating noise while sleeping. Okay, so the word soundly means profoundly, a deep sleep. The father was in deep sleep, and as he was in deep sleep, he was making a loud noise. She sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Okay, so she sat on a stool. The little girl, she sat on a stool gravely. Gravely means here seriously. The girl was very nervous. Seriously, she watched her father until he woke and stretched. The father woke up and stretched his body and then asked about the time. Then looked at the little girl. Don't stare so, Kezia. You look like a little brown owl. Again the father was snubbing the child in a roundabout way. Actually, the father was very loving, but it's the child's outlook. It was the outlook of the child that he found her father quite angry with her. The father was saying, don't stare so, Kezia, you look like a little brown owl. One day, when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that her father's birthday was next week and suggested she should make him a pin cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So the girl had a cold. She was suffering from cold. That's why she was in indoors. Her grandmother suggested her that make she should make a pin cushion for his father, as his father was very much fond of cushion, putting his or cocking his legs on the cushion. So her grandmother suggested the little girl to make a pin cushion. Pin cushion means a particular kind of cushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. So the grandmother also provided her with a yellow silk and suggested that the little girl should make a pin cushion as a gift to give her father on the birthday. So students, in this video, up to this portion, in the next video we will discuss the remaining portion. But before leaving, again I like to request you to press the like button and subscribe the channel if you are new, and also to comment and share the video. So up to this, thank you, goodbye.